The meteoric rise of China has been the biggest story in the global economy in recent decades. But the emergence of its neighbor, India, as a potential economic powerhouse may be going under the radar. You will not find any mentions of it in the newspaper, but India has now surpassed UK, its old colonial master, to become the world's fifth largest economy. And by 2030, it will overtake Germany and Japan to take the third position. And while the world knows about the billionaires like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, the staggering wealth accumulated in recent years by Indian billionaires like Gautam Adani and Mukesh Ambani has been less well publicized. So a question is now asked in the international circles: is India the next big thing? There are three main defining factors when it comes to superpowers. The first and foremost is the economic wealth. The lesser known is the soft power of the country in terms of cultural exchange, diplomacy, or dissemination of ideas. And last but not the least, the true and only determinant is the hard military asset. So in this video, we will take a close look on each of them and understand what factors work in favor of India and what do not. What started as a course correction in the early 90s during the tenure of Finance Minister Manmohan Singh has resulted in an economic boom decades later. The economy of India is currently world's third largest in terms of GDP purchasing power parity, surpassing $10 trillion in 2021. India will become the world's third largest economy in absolute terms by 2027, with a GDP more than doubling from current 3.4 trillion to 8.5 trillion over the next 10 years. According to analysts, India will add more than $400 billion to its GDP every year, a scale that will only be outpaced by US and China. So it's safe to say that the Indian economy today is where China was in the early 2000s. However, a factor that works in favor of India is that its working population keeps on growing, which suggests that it will have a longer growth runway as opposed to China. The nation's median age is 11 years younger than that of China, which means that India will not have to worry about aging population for many decades to come. To feed this ever-growing population, India is currently undertaking significant attempts to attract investment. China-US rivalry and China's zero-COVID policy really brought home the value of not relying on one country for its supply chain. Tech giant Apple provides the latest example of being burned by an over-reliance of China. Apple is now speeding up its push to shift its production out of China, and the top pick is India. Apple will now move 25% of its production to India by 2025. And it's not just Apple, but 25 other manufacturing companies have shifted from China to India. Following the implementation of export limitations on semiconductor to China by US, major Apple supplier Foxconn and other chipmakers are also relocating to India. This is demonstrated by the recent announcement that the largest investment firm in India, Tata Investments, will start manufacturing semiconductors with a $90 billion investment. India still has a lot to cover to make inroads in the semiconductor market, as it is currently saturated by few countries. However, entering into the ultra high-tech market will provide exponential benefits to India in the long run. India has the world's largest population after China, growing at a rate of 1%. The United Nations have reported that India is projected to surpass China as the most populous country in 2023. Due to its high birth rate, India has a young population compared to many developed countries. Approximately 65% of its population lives under the age of 35. This provides the nation with a large workforce for many decades, helping its growth. India also contributes the most in the global diaspora population. Every year, 2.5 million Indians migrate overseas, which is the highest annual number of migrants in the world. More than 32 million Indians live across the globe and contributes to the highest remittance sent in the world for any country at around $87 billion, and it serves as a great balancer for Indian current account deficit. In the next episode, we will discuss the soft power and the hard power that India possesses and how India has used this to its advantage. Moreover, if you want to learn about the Russia-Ukraine war, click on the link in the upper left corner.
If you like this video, please like, subscribe and share, as this would help and motivate me to make more content. Thank you and have a good day.